There's a story waiting for you to write it. There's a treasure waiting for you to find it. There's a picture waiting for you to paint it. There's a dollar waiting for you to make it. So what you waiting on? Who you waiting for? If you don't take a chance, you'll never know what's in store. Just do you. Somebody's got to be a star. Just do you. Somebody's got to raise the bar. Just do you. Somebody's got to change the game. Just do you today. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Gina Harris, and I'm the founder of Sisterhood Connections and Sisterhood Connections Junior. And I'm joining today with Nancy Castro, who is the president of Sisterhood Connections Junior. And today is a day that we're celebrating her book launch. She is a confidence coach on Sisterhood Connections, and I'm super excited to introduce her today and celebrate her course that was offered in Sisterhood Connections last summer. And so Nancy, we're just going to jump right in. Welcome to the call. And right now you are coming in from Oklahoma, is that right? And I'm here in Houston.
That is correct. I am all the way from Oklahoma. Hi, everybody.
And so today's a really special day, Nancy, and I know everyone's been seeing the buzz about all the Sisterhood Connections book launch. And so we're going to just jump right in. And, you know, last summer, like I was saying, we all of us coaches got together and put together a course for our sisters in the community for a 4-week course. And so I'm curious what drew you to really doing a course on this topic and then turning it into a book?
You know, honestly, I had that question asked just not too long ago, and it really made me think about why I wanted to do the book and why I even decided to push forward and do it. And when I did the course for the women, it was pretty amazing to see some of the changes that happened for everybody. And, I was just telling somebody what in those 2 years, I'm going to say about 2 years that I took from all the challenges and everything that happened to me, and to be able to finally overcome it. It's been about a couple of years. And so when I think about it, I'm like, if somebody could do the course, which is, every week you do a stepping stone. And that's how I created it, to where your body kind of gets used to it, your mind, everything kind of starts settling in. And then next week you can go into the next move. So what I was thinking, it was, when you think about either 2 years of challenges, or you have a month of really diving in and understanding where you are confidence-wise in careers, in relationships, in anything, with yourself, I really think about it. I'm like, okay, so you either go 2 years or you go 1 month of really giving it your all and then coming out a whole new person. So for me, that was my driving force. I wasn't thinking about myself. I was thinking about what lives could be changed by me getting out of my comfort zone. And so, you know what, that really did push me, because I didn't make it about me. I made it about how many people can I help by going through this and showing them that even to this day, yesterday or last week, I still use those stepping stones to help me get through things. And it's pretty amazing. So that's what my driving force was in writing the book and having the guts to do it. I mean, I gave you a deadline of when I was going to give that to you. And, the day of, I knew I was getting out of my comfort zone, where, my hands were sweating so bad, and they were getting cramped up as I was writing the book, because I knew something in me was still doubtful about, should I write this book, and who's going to listen to it, and who am I to do it? And then I thought, but I'm a confidence coach. What the heck? I'm supposed to be showing these girls and leading the path. But at the same time, it's Nancy, you're still human, and you still have those fears and doubts, and you're still growing, and you're still developing, and you're still evolving. So it was perfect, because then it was you know what? We all can use all of these tools. And so in that sense, you know what? I had to do it. I had to get out of my comfort zone with tears coming down and all the fears and everything going on. I just went ahead and did it. I sent it off, and it was the biggest like weight off my shoulders, where it was like, I knew deep down, I believed in what I was doing, and I believe in everything that I was accomplishing, but at the same time I had my doubts. So yeah, that's what made, it made me realize that it's important that I need to get this out there.
Yeah. And Nancy, I have to share something with you, because you have really even inspired me, because you really step in and own everything that you do. And of course, you're a confidence coach, and that's, I learned so much from you. And I did want to talk just briefly about, you took this course and offered it, last summer in Sisterhood Connections, but then you did a live event with a bunch of, young girls, ages 10 to 17. And of course, you're the president of Sisterhood Connections Junior, but I know you changed so many lives that weekend. And I know we have some amazing plans for the future on that, but can you talk a little bit about that, about how that was? You took them through the process over the weekend, right? And being able to watch those girls really unfold, and really everything, all the tools that you gave them are really inside of this book, right?
Yes, they are. I mean, everything that I went through live, I think was super, just me doing it live was the hardest thing for me, because it was another one of those things like, get out of my comfort zone. What if I forget? What if this doesn't go? There was just so many things going on in my mind, but at the same time, again, I had to focus on my why. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Because I wanted to back out. I was like, oh my God, what if nobody shows up? And, that could have been a possibility, like, of no one showing up. But I was like, if I believe in what I'm doing, then I got to keep going. Like, it doesn't matter if one person shows up. It doesn't matter. And, thankfully, I had the chance to meet this wonderful gentleman who works with the school district. And he said, you know what, I believe in what you're doing, and I'm going to bring, my girls. And it was like a volleyball group of girls and his niece, because he was like, I want to see how much of a difference you create for her. And then it'll be like the icing on the cake for me. So when I did that, it was like, oh my God, like even more pressure. Like, there's somebody watching me do this. But you know what? It was so nice to see them break out of their shell. And their hearts were just popped right open. And they were able to kind of face some of the stuff that they've been dealing with. And they got to share it with each other. And it was so nice. But, it wasn't even just that. It was, the gentleman who was there was in the background watching all of this happen. And at one point, I turned around to look at him, and it was affecting him. Like, he was like breaking down. And I'm like, for me to see these young ladies break down and really see what they needed to do. But then I turn around and there's a gentleman he's not even doing the activities, but it affected him. The energy that was there, the things that were happening there, and it affected him that much to where he broke down. That's when it really hit me. Like, this stuff is really powerful. Like, it's really changing people's lives. And so, with that sense, I can't wait to do this with more and more groups, and, just really just start getting the ball rolling on transforming so many people's lives.
And, you said it perfectly. As you're talking, I'm thinking, your specific book, some of us have written books is very targeted, like mine, Manifest Your Power Partner. It's a very targeted audience. Yours, I see your book, being beneficial to everyone, meeting them right where they're at in their life, because even some people where they feel like they're confident, there's certain areas, because I feel like I'm confident in some areas of my life. And then there's other areas where it's a little more challenging. And this book is loaded with so much good information. So let's just shift gears just a little bit and talk a little bit about Sisterhood Connections, because someone might be watching today and be going, what is Sisterhood Connections? And so if you were to describe it and sum it up and what it's given to you in your life, can you share that with us?
Absolutely. You know what, for me, honestly, for Sisterhood Connections, being, a confidence coach there, and even just being there, some days you just need that one message that really gets to you, and then it just shifts your mindset on whatever's going on that day. And I feel like it happens all the time where, that's a group of women that I think are just empowering, they're motivating, they're inspiring each other. And we all come from completely different backgrounds. ages, I mean, everything. It's so diverse, but I love it because you know what? If something doesn't resonate with you, somebody else posts something and then that gets, you're like, oh, I totally understand that. And so I feel like it really creates a safe place for people to come to find motivation, to find inspiration, to find even just help and support, because a lot of people on there, you know, just recently, somebody had, you know, just, you know, came out of a difficult situation and they asked for help. And do you know, there was like 4 or 5 women that got together, took her stuff that she needed and to kind of get her life back together and going. And they just really, I'm like, oh my God, if it wasn't for the group, she wouldn't have had all that support. And, you know, people that are going through difficult times and they need that extra little prayer for whatever that may be, any situation, like I feel like people get in there and they're like, please help me. Like they find that support where they may not be able to find that with their own family. And so being vulnerable in this group where it's private and they can come in and find that motivation, I think is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You described it so good. And I will tell you that situation that you're talking about, that hit me as well, watching us, you know, because she was in my old hometown. And now that I'm over here in Texas, to watch some women in that group just come together and really love her through the process. That was really shifting for me. And so there's so much good stuff in Sisterhood Connection. So Nancy, would you like to share any little tidbit or sneak peek on your book and kind of give an idea of what they're going to expect through really it's a 4-week journey, right?
Yes, absolutely. You know, I created it in such a place where it takes you slowly through the process, because you know what, for somebody, stepping stone one, which is basically doing an inventory of yourself. Where are you at? Where is your confidence level? Like, give me some description of who you are. Like, it's really getting in and honing in on, let's have a starting point, because we all need a starting point. We want to get to a certain level, but we need to know where we're starting. And I think with all of that, you know, we started off with you know, the cleaning out of the mind and just really figuring out what the situation is here. But, you know, they're going to get to go through some visualizations, some meditations, some journaling to really get in there and like get this stuff out and then completely recreate themselves, to reintroduce themselves in such a different way because of all the tools that they have now, that they can overcome anything. And you know what, like I said, I still use all of those stepping stones where I get into a situation where I'm like, okay, let me think about this. The situation pops up and then I immediately go into, okay, let me visualize what I want the situation to be. And like, I just kind of work through it. And so it's so funny to think that even though I got the chance to write the book, and it's more of a guide, I'm going to have to say, it's more of a guide for people who really want that change and who's going to put in that work. But for some people, step one may take them a couple of weeks to really grasp. For some people, it may take 2 days that they're so ready that they're like, okay, boom, got it. I'm going to go into step 2. But for others, it may take that full month to just really grasp and really be honest with themselves and vulnerable with themselves to really see, oh, shoot, that's my starting point. Yeah, for some of us, it may be like a wake-up call, but it's all at your own pace. You have all the tools in one little guide, but you go at your own pace.
Awesome, Nancy. I'm super excited to even watch people's lives being changed through this book. And I know you have even bigger plans with this book. And so I'm really excited to just watch it all unfold for you, Nancy. And so before we end the video, I was wondering if you had any of your personal advice for anyone out there watching going, wow, Nancy really did it. She did a book, and it's something I've always wanted to do, because I hear it a lot. Like, you know, I've always wanted to write a book. So what little advice would you have for them if they're really thinking or contemplating about writing a book?
You know what, honestly, I feel that as you grow as a person, like personal development, whether you're reading books or attending conferences or whatever, you start growing as a person, and you have to be flexible as far as where your journey is taking you. You know, when I'm like, oh God, I've always done HR, so I'm going to do that forever. you realize like halfway there, like, wait, my path is taking me somewhere completely different. And I was fighting that for a while, where I'm like, no, I don't want to go down that route. That's not how I saw myself. But you know what, until I surrendered that and said, okay, where am I supposed to go? What is my purpose on this earth? And I finally let go of where I saw myself as far as the control, like, okay, this is where I'm going to be. Where it's like you allow the flow to just happen. And then this opportunity came up. And you know, when you start getting that in your feet, like that stomach, like, oh my God, I really want to do it, but I would never tell anybody that I really want to do it. That's when you know you have to do it. When something in you is like, I really do want to do it. Like me by myself in my room, I was like, oh my God, wouldn't that be amazing to travel around the US or even around the world doing these groups for people and changing their lives? Like, wouldn't it be awesome? And then it was like my own confidence. I was like, whoa, back off. Like, no, relax. But then I thought, but why not? Why not? Like, why do I have to make myself small? And I was like, no, this is my first stepping stone and I have to do it. So for all of you that have these huge dreams and you really think about the stuff that you really want to do and change lives, I would suggest that you get out of your comfort zone and you go for it. Just do it. Feel the fear and do it anyway.
That is so funny that you say that, because that's what it was bringing up to me is, you know, the common theme that we use a lot in Sisterhood Connections is that feel the fear and do it anyway. And I love that, Nancy, because you and I have had lots of conversations about, you know, just kind of, you know, not thinking about the bigger picture, because it can be a little fearful sometimes, and just go and focus on just the thing you're doing right in front of you. So that was really, really good advice. And so Nancy, in closing, is there anything that you want to add? I really want to congratulate you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so proud of you. It's been really an honor watching all of you amazing women just really unfold and grow. And you've really just owned it, Nancy. And you inspire me each and every day. And there's many people, not only women, but kids and men, people around you that you inspire. And so if there's anything that you want to add before we close this video.
I do. You know what? I want to tell everybody that you really never know who you're inspiring by what you're doing. And so when you do it for yourself and what, you know, you really focus on what you really want to do and having that belief in yourself, you seriously never know who's watching behind the scenes, and really using whatever you're doing or saying or posting as an inspiration to get them through the day. So I just want to do, you know, a little advice for everybody is, you know, when you hold back in posting or saying or doing something, don't do it, because you don't know what kind of blessing you can bring to other people by just doing exactly what you've always wanted to do or say. And so in closing, that's what I want to make sure everybody just don't hold back on whatever's going on. You have limited days on this earth. And for you not to live to your fullest potential is the worst thing you could do for yourself. So go ahead and do that. Just be free and let yourself loose and just do it without caring what anybody else is going to say or do. And you won't realize like how many people you actually inspire by just being, and that's all it takes.
What wonderful advice. I totally 100% agree with you. That's awesome. And so Nancy, thank you. And today I am celebrating you. I'm celebrating Keys to Confidence, and
Yay!
looking forward to what it offers to the world, really. So thank you. And I also wanted to add that Nancy and I are going to be hosting a live show, The Sisters, and we're going to be bringing all of us together to really mastermind and share each of our experiences. So I'm super excited for that. We're not sure when that show will be, but we definitely are all going to come together and offer that for everyone. So until we meet again, I'm sending love from my heart to yours, and be blissful.
I heard a voice that told me I'm essential, how all my fears are limiting my potential.